Attention, everybody. The views and opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily those of Acts Ministry, Acts Media Group, and or their affiliate and supported ministries and or nonprofits. Some of this content may be adult in nature, so please use discretion while watching with children. And here he is. He tells you whenever the sun is up, and it's really loud. He's here to crow. It's Johnny Rooster.
It's Monday, and I'm Johnny Rooster, your host of Morning Mouth. Thanks for tuning in on Acts Media Group. We do this show Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. What I want you to know is we have International Women's Day is today, March 8th. In honor of that, I want to honor a very powerful woman that I came across just recently. So just to give you a background, International Women's Day is a day that has long represented the accomplishments of women in our society and worldwide. So Matt, we're going to put in a clip from a lady that is a bodybuilder.
She's a lady.
And she's tough. And it's going to get personal, and you're going to find out why. I'm going to announce something big here on the show.
I'm
so
glad I didn't say anything.
Be ready. We're not going to spill the beans, but this is how I met Terri Williams, bodybuilder, up in Bolivar. So when you're ready, play the clip. Uh-oh, no dirty shoes, please.
I think they can hear you, too, by the way.
Uh-oh. I hope my shoes... I should have shined them today. Oh, well. Uh-oh. Well, hello.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Great.
Come on in.
Thanks for letting me in. It's really kind of awkward. I don't know. I didn't know there was a requirement. This is nuts. So, your name is...
Terri.
Terri. Do we call you Terri Leanne like you do, you know, for official? Just Terri.
Terri.
It's just, it's so average. So let's go see where Terri hangs out and gets buff. All right, I'm good.
So what do you...
Okay, so what would you do first? Let's just kind of go through something just to show it.
And on a back day, I would typically do pull-ups first, but I don't have to do that necessarily.
Okay.
I can do lat pulls.
Okay, yeah, let's just do that. That'll be...
I'm going to have to grab these.
Sure.
Calluses that like to rip off.
Uh-oh.
So.
The cost of hard work.
Yeah, I will never be handy.
So what do your kids do when you're working out, training?
So I usually, the reason I train at 4 is because my girls are asleep and I'm not going to miss.
Yeah, you're at 4 a.m.
I have a neighbor
Early
that
to rise.
keeps an eye on the house. He's an older guy, and that way I'm home with him at night.
Right.
My girls are both really active in different sports, so when I get off work, we hit the ground running.
Terri is an LPN in Springfield, works out in Bolivar where she lives.
There's different sports they're into?
Yes, we do wrestling, softball, track, and choir.
Yeah, a girl wrestler.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, she's a beast.
Okay, taking after mom maybe. All right.
Let's see. Okay.
Okay, good. Yeah, so unemployment, yeah. Yeah. That's so aggravating. Well, I've got the same problems.
I don't know if I'd get even one of those. Okay, so I'm just saying, I don't know if I could even pull very many of those.
You want to give it a shot?
Yeah, let me give it a try. So you get me on the camera here.
All right, here's Johnny Rooster. Let's see if he can do this.
Just kind of
Hold
down and
on.
reach
Let
out.
me get behind you so we can see how much weight he's pulling.
Reach under here. You ready?
Now wait, I'm trying to find you. There we are. I'm going to see the weight first. Okay, you got it up. There's how much he's trying to
I'm
lift.
lifting.
Okay.
6 kilograms.
All right, go ahead, Johnny.
Just like that.
Yeah. off about your chin.
Chin, okay.
Use your back to pull it.
Yeah. All right, got that in there?
Yeah, that's a better view. You can edit this.
Be next. You know, you never know when you might get a little more enthusiasm for this job, and I was just needing to show that I can do it too, you know. What has been your biggest challenge so far to getting to where you want to go?
I'd have to say I had a pretty kind of a freak accident in 2019 that set me back a little bit, but
Yeah.
I perforated my esophagus. I ripped my esophagus almost completely from my stomach and went septic because of, all my stomach contents. Both of my lungs collapsed.
How did that happen? What caused it?
Really not sure. I'm one of like 5 people ever to have a spontaneous rupture
Where were you when that took place?
at home.
It just happened.
So I had deadlifted really heavy that morning. I was really dried out I was 3 weeks out from a show.
Yeah.
And I was eating steak that night, took a bite of it and kind of got caught and I coughed. And when I did, I just hit the ground.
So, how did you recover from that, or what do you have to do to recover from that?
I was in the hospital for almost 2 months. I had a feeding tube. I didn't get to eat food for almost 3 months. I, had an NG tube. I had chest tubes, keeping my lungs inflated. I mean, it was rough.
What about your kids during that time? Where were they?
My mom and my friends kind of passed them around.
Wow. Pretty scary time.
I was given a 30% chance to make it, and I was told I would never lift again.
That's extreme.
Yes.
So what motivated you to come back to lifting after all of that?
The fact that they told me I wouldn't do it again. I was in here with a feeding tube, my backpack.
Is that
And
kind of
lifting
your
weights.
personality to overcome obstacles and say, yes, I can?
Yes. That's what I try to teach my girls to do.
What was your, what was it like with your parents growing up? Were you encouraged, or did you have to overcome things? What was that like?
I didn't really have a great childhood. My parents both were alcoholics, and
What gave you determination in spite of that?
I think that had a lot to do with it. Like, we can all choose our own paths. You don't have to be what you're a product of.
Do you have a faith, a religion, anything like that?
I do. I kind of think that's maybe I just needed a new perspective on life is why this happened to me to begin with. Maybe I was not taking things for granted or something, and now I definitely have a new perspective on life.
So what is your motivation every day? To get up that early and get out and do this at 4 a.m.?
I just want to show my girls that you can do whatever you set your mind to.
Once you get in a pattern, it's easier, isn't it?
It is.
Because
Yeah.
that first initial getting back into it's got to be really a challenge.
Well, I wanted nothing more than to get back into it after laying in the hospital for almost 2 months.
How did you work into it? How do you work into something?
Just get in there and just do what you can do. Just
Yeah.
like anybody. People will say, well, I can't do that. Just do anything is better than nothing.
Do you feel like your calamity and your disaster was because you overdid something, or
No, I think it was just a perfect storm of just a lot of things.
is there any way to prevent something like that? It sounds really tragic and extreme.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Not
it's
really.
like I said, there's only been a handful of people that it's ever happened to.
Now,
I mean, the surgeons in St. Louis and Kansas City wouldn't even take me because they've never seen it.
wow. So where did you get help? Where did you get help?
Actually, at Cox South, there was a surgeon who had fixed an esophagus that another surgeon had nicked, and that was the only one he's done. But because he had done that, he decided.
That sounds quite unusual, to be sure. You don't have you have a history of working and getting fit because that's what you wanted to do. Overcame some things as a young person, and you determined. What was your relationship like with your kid's dad?
It was good. We never argued or anything. I actually got pregnant before we got married, and that was the reason why I got married. Not a great reason to get married. We were married for 10 years, and it was basically like a roommate situation after, a few years.
How are your girls' relationship with you and their dad?
The relationship with me is really strong. We're really tight.
Yeah.
Their dad, they always had a great relationship with him until he got remarried, and now they really don't see him too often.
What do you want to say to moms that are out there being a single mom, trying to make it happen, and they're discouraged?
Just show your kids, what you're made of. They're looking up to you.
Yeah. So you've got a belief in God. You have a strong desire to succeed, and the part of the challenge of training is you got to dehydrate before a competition or something to show more muscle tone. Is that why they do that, or tell me how that works?
So we drink lots and lots of water, and then when you get a couple of weeks out, they start pulling your water away, and your coaches call it depleting you. I mean, you just look terrible a couple of weeks before a competition. And then right before, they start filling you back up, and then that way your muscles are really full on stage.
Wow, it seems really like a shock to the system.
It is. It's really not a healthy thing.
I never thought about that before.
But that's why we don't stay like that for very long. It's short term.
So you're not feeling good on
You're feeling
the
horrible.
show day.
Yeah, you're feeling bad.
Yeah, and you got to do your best when you feel your worst.
Right.
Like I'm coming on from different accounts and liking it.
What do you want me to do?
Terri. That way you don't lose it.
Right, nobody will steal this one. I have a couple of them stolen.
Oh, wow.
There could be another Terri out there. That wouldn't be a good thing. It'd be over
This is a
there.
rack hole. For your bag.
You can do it.
Yeah.
You didn't have to show off for me. So is that what you normally would do?
I usually finish my back day with those.
Did that go quiet?
There, it's better for you down the big one.
I got to have a bigger ball. Here it is. My kids got one of these, and we always throw them at each other. More of a weapon.
Yeah.
This is like one of those beanbag chairs, only it's very, very bouncy. Terri, your favorite thing to do in the gym, what is your favorite? Is there a favorite thing?
Yeah, my favorite is shoulders, which my coach gets really frustrated with me because my shoulders are a little too big for.
You've got big shoulders.
Yes. So he's actually moving me to wellness this year, which is a different.
Wellness?
Yeah.
Okay, it sounds like you're sick already.
Yeah.
A wellness checkup.
So wellness is like the bikini, but legs and glutes are bigger than your upper half. So we're gonna grow. We're gonna be focusing on growing my bottom half. And I said, well, what do I got to do to get there? And he said, stop training shoulders.
So do you have to be more symmetrical to win a competition?
In bikini, they're kind of looking for an overall, they like capped shoulders, glutes and hamstrings are a big thing. but not a whole lot of muscle definition. I have a little bit too much now for bikini, so we're moving up.
Okay. So what's the next step?
I'm gonna go to wellness.
So then that's how long? How long do you do that? Just whatever it takes?
I'll probably stay there.
And then
I don't really want to get extremely muscular.
Right.
Whoa!
You don't want to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No.
Okay, so now you've got a goal to go pro.
Yes.
And what does that mean?
Just to, oh gosh. Okay. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? People don't like to see themselves.
No.
I'm the opposite of people.
I don't.
I'm the weirdo. Okay, so what does it take to go pro?
You just have to qualify at a regional level show, which I'm going to do Omaha, and then I'll probably go on to another national show in Pittsburgh, and then hopefully get my pro card there. You have to take first in your class.
So if you don't take first, you're not pro.
Right.
So it's all or nothing.
So you just keep working, come back again.
Pittsburgh,
I didn't go pro.
PA,
No,
Or
Pennsylvania.
PA. Okay.
the big one.
That big one.
That's what
I
Andy's-
did Orlando last year.
Okay.
So when is that? The next one, the Omaha.
Omaha is July 11th.
So you got to be ready for that.
Yep.
And that just means get the bottom half a little more lined up.
Well, I gotta grow. I'm gonna spend the next few months growing, and then we'll start prep where I start cutting weight and getting.
Are there weight
shredded.
categories, or
No,
is it
we go by height.
height? What's your height?
5'3".
So it doesn't matter what you weigh.
No, but I mean, to be competitive, you are down to pretty much no body fat.
Wow. So tell me about that. What do you have to eat, or what do you not have to eat?
I eat the same things every day. 6 times a day I eat.
6 bowls of grape nuts for me.
Yeah, I don't get grape nuts.
I like grape nuts. They're like eating gravel.
So
Oh, ew.
yeah. And
She's not a fan.
prep, your diet is extremely strict. I mean,
Okay.
I'm just eating like egg whites, ground turkey, chicken. I didn't get.
Throw all those in the
Yeah.
blender, guys. Throw them all in the blender.
I mean, your carbs are rice or like sweet potatoes, but the end of my last prep, I didn't get a carb for 6 weeks.
Ah. So you're craving something, or just does it go away?
I mean, yeah, you're craving everything, but it's
Cheesecake.
what you have to do. Yes.
Cheesecake's a big
Yes.
pull.
After my last show in, we did the Missouri, they brought Hertz donuts and pizza. So
That's what they do, right? They kind of get to binge a little or have a little joyous
yeah.
reprieve afterwards.
But after not having any of that for so long, you
It's
feel
not that.
you get sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now let's see a flex here. Show it off a little.
Wow.
Yep. So you have to work 6 days a week
Mm-hmm.
to make this a reality for you.
Yeah.
Was that everybody's lifestyle? That's pro that wants to compete?
It's typical. Some do 5 days a week in their off season, but I just stick with 6 days a week because it's hard for me to even take one day off, honestly.
I am a writer. I wrote a book. Stephen King said he writes every day or else he gets out of the pattern. So that's kind of what he has to do.
Yeah, I can
Even
do
if
that.
it's not good words, you're just writing words.
Right.
Even if it's just nonsense. So yeah, it's in the mode. You're in the zone.
Yeah.
Well, Terry, what's your favorite thing to do as far as not related to training? What do you like?
My girls and I love doing anything outdoors, like hiking, biking. In the wintertime we go to Ninja Warrior gyms or rock climbing gyms.
Isn't
Anything to
Ninja
keep us
Warrior
out.
televised?
Yeah.
Would
But,
you
they-
ever do that on a...
I've thought about it,
Because
but
you could get paid to do that
Right.
stuff, Terry. You'd
But-
be a natural.
I would have to train for that instead of competing. I gotta go pro before I can
You
focus
can't.
on anything else.
Okay. Do the people that do that show, are they pro or are they just doing it because
I mean,
they
they're
like?
not bodybuilders.
They're just having fun.
Yeah,
Or-
they're
I wanted you to slip in like one of the regular audience members, like nobody knows what you are, and then you just kill them.
well. I'm a bodybuilder. I'm not like
I
those
know.
guys are into all kinds of cardio and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I'm on the stairs for 10 minutes and I'm dying.
Yeah, you looked at the cardio equipment. You're like, I don't want
Yeah,
that. That's not me.
I like to pick up heavy things and put them down.
See, that's more of a guy thing, I think. It's like, oh no, yeah, a big muscle thing. But you're doing this as a very feminine woman. You're not trying to become like Miss Atlas or something big.
There's lots of women that do it.
Yeah,
It's just,
it's become a big thing
it
now.
has.
It really has in the last 10 years. A lot of women competing.
Yes.
It almost
Women's Day
becomes a
is today.
status
This is
thing.
our
I
national
did this.
video
This is what I did.
tribute.
It's like the people I know that run marathons feel the same way.
Yeah.
They want to run a marathon and they can say they did it. And this is kind of like that, isn't it? It's like, I've done this professionally. This is my
I've done
pro
it several
card.
times. I just need to go pro now.
Yeah. And this is, now what age are you now?
I'm 36.
Okay. All right.
She's a
C4.
brave young lady.
Tell us about C4.
It's just this is a pre-workout. They have really good products, and I usually take this before training, especially because I train at 4 a.m. Gives me that extra.
Does that
Pump I
C4
need.
stand for 4 a.m.?
Yeah, for me it does.
That's an early workout.
Yeah, and you can either mix it with water. I typically just take it. It's rough, but
Let's
gives
see
me
the
something.
tongue.
And the teeth.
Yep. Makes them nice and blue. Is it sugary?
Yeah, you want to try it?
Yeah, I kind
You'll
of
get the
do.
jitters on the way home. You're gonna feel like you need to run a marathon.
Okay.
Don't give him a lot then. He's not caffeinated.
I got to take an adult dose. Can I
Okay.
just chug
I've
it
always
down?
got to prove myself.
You're gonna want water though.
An adult
After.
dose, huh?
I will. I'm going to want water.
That's very
I've got
sweet.
water in the car.
Here, I'll give you that.
This is not not to be taken lightly.
Are you sure? Uh-oh.
C4 is her sponsor.
I better get me some more water.
That stuff will put the juice in your brain, man. It'll make you want it.
Yeah.
It's like an
Like sugar.
explosion.
Pure sugar.
So I chug it down like a no big deal.
Nice and
Did
I never
have-
work out.
Yes. You got the blue tongue.
It's like that. Tastes like Kool-Aid.
My idea of
I
a
used to have
workout
high
is getting
energy
up out
level.
of
This ought to
bed.
be a fun day.
Oh,
you're gonna
my.
be flying on the way home.
We'll be home in no time.
Now,
I'll be
man,
running beside
you know
the
what I
car.
want to do? I want to arm wrestle you.
I want to
Okay.
arm
So
wrestle you.
where can we do that?
Famous last words.
I'm gonna feel it.
1 minute and 30 seconds.
Got to get a
Maybe over
good.
there on that, one of us can go on each side.
Yeah, let's do an arm wrestle. I've got to do this. This is Johnny Rooster.
It's hit him already.
I got to do this. I got to do this. Okay, where?
I mean, one of us can go on. We can go on each side of this wall.
Oh yeah, that wall.
Man, look at them
Have you done
shoulders.
this before?
No.
Awesome. I'm going to challenge Terri to an arm
So
wrestling.
you can probably put
If I beat her, then I'm going to go pro.
camera right here.
Well, let's make sure we can see both of us. So you can be
I'm
here.
thinking if you're-
Let's put you over there.
Put him right here on the edge.
Get ready
Oh,
to
let's
pause
watch.
the
Have it
video,
facing
Matt.
This way.
Yeah, let's make
All right.
sure.
Yeah, like that.
Let me
There
see.
she is. Okay. Get in position. I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, make sure that's. You see my
I
face
can-
and her face.
If you can come down a little bit, John.
I'm too
Come
tall.
down to her level. Yeah.
Wow.
Come down to my
How
level.
tall are you? 5'3"?
Okay. Are you ready?
This is nuts.
Are you?
I get
Can you
most
see
of
both
your
of
You want me
us?
to pause it right before you
You
start?
lean into her a little bit. I can see more.
Pause it
of
right
your
after.
face, but it's up to you.
Okay,
Here we go.
Okay, ready?
We're gonna do this.
go ahead and pause it.
Goodness.
The most disappointing thing in the world happened at that moment. The camera was not on.
Well, it's on you right now.
It's a bummer, guys, because I can't prove this. I want to prove this. I did not lose that arm wrestling match, but all my sidekick Monday morning, she's on here, Amber, my co-host on Monday. She doesn't believe me. She brings in 2 female guests on Monday a week ago. They don't believe me. Nobody believes me. Mrs. Rooster was there. She believes me, but you guys have to see it because apparently we're in the show me state. So this video, you can play the rest of it, but it failed during that time. I didn't beat her. She didn't beat me.
All right, so we're going to finish playing the video.
Finish this clip, and we got another one for something else.
hold on.
Uh-oh, this is getting serious.
Turn on the camera.
All right, when
Turn
you're
on the
ready.
camera. Show.
Okay, hold
I'm
on.
gonna show.
Very disappointing.
All
I'll
right.
take my shirt off on camera.
Yeah. So basically, nothing really happened to that moment. We're going on. That's okay. You can keep it if it's still rolling. No biggie. Okay. This is Terri. Now, Terri's story is she's a single mom, age 36, has 2 daughters. She gets up at 3:30 in the morning, works out at 4 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. Am I on?
You are now.
Yeah. 4 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. every morning, Monday through Friday, and then on Saturday she works out when she's at whatever time she has. But she does 6 days a week, 2.5 to 3 hours a day, because a year and a half ago she almost died. Her esophagus ripped, just up and ripped. She had worked out really hard. She was taking a bite of steak, and she just blew up. I mean, everything inside her, all the toxins, everything exploded because her esophagus tore nearly to her stomach.
My goodness.
They said it was so rare. Hardly anybody ever has this happen. But she nearly died, had a 30% chance of survival, and then they told her, of course, you'll never train again. You'll never bodybuild again. You'll never go anywhere with that. So she came back 2 months in the hospital with a feeding tube, Matt. A feeding tube, went to the gym and began her training again
With
on
a
her own.
feeding tube.
With a feeding tube. And now it's been, as I said, that was a year and a half ago. She is still trying to get her pro card, which means if she beats her division and she wins, it doesn't matter what her weight is. It matters how she performs in this category. She's 5'3", 130 pounds, and she is determined.
She looks like she could bench press a Buick.
So, I arm wrestled her. I'm 195, 197, pushing 200 pounds, 6'1". I couldn't put her down. I'm fierce. I'm not built, but I don't
I thought
give
you said
up.
you won that.
No, I did not win that. It was a deadlock. And then we go, let's go left-handed. And then she goes, I'm left-handed. Then I go, I'm left-handed too. We're both left-handed. We couldn't pin each other with the left or the right.
Wow.
So her biceps are similar to mine. But she's a little young lady, and
But she doesn't have a dad bod.
No. No.
You probably don't have a dad. You're probably. You look like you're physically fit.
I'm pushing the man boobs. My gut is
No,
jiggling.
I tell you what.
I'm not a pretty sight.
I tell you what, though. The dad bod is more desirable nowadays.
I'm not the buff guy, which a lot of people don't want that veiny look.
No. We call that vascular.
But the dad bod is pretty cool.
You know,
It's
not muscular, but vascular.
There you go.
So.
But I am no working out guy. But here, I'm going to get on to something else here. But this was our International Women's Day celebration of a young lady who's determined to win.
What's the next video?
And our last thing to say before that. Now you can get up this video. Get it ready.
Okay,
It's
what is
called
it?
Rooster March 8, and then it has a number 2 in parentheses.
Rooster March 8, number 2?
Yeah. Does it say? One of these is 4 minutes, and one of these is 1 minute and something.
So which one do you want?
I want the 4 minute if you got it.
All right. So it looks like 1 minute and 40. Okay, so
Yeah,
Rooster March 8.
There's a 7 minute, a 4 minute, a 4 minute, and a 1 minute.
Okay, which one do you want?
I'd like to go with 7. It gives a little
right.
more time.
All right, so let me get this all pulled
That
up.
might be number 3. Who cares? So, guys, yeah, we're going to play a video here from the Lawn and Landscape Show, and we want you to see that was taking place in Springfield recently. It's spring, guys, so it's time to get out and get strong. March 20th, that's the date, Saturday, high noon, 4166 West Kearney. Going to be a rematch between myself and Terri Williams.
It's going to be fun.
Arm wrestling. Go.
Are you ready for this video?
Go.
All right. There's that song you wrote.
Yeah. Provide my own background music. So the Springfield Expo Center, well, no, it's the E-Plex at the fairgrounds. This is a really cool wooden sculpture of Jesus holding
Let's
up
get
a...
over here. Hi, this is Jason. What's the name of your business?
My business is Eagle Ridge Chainsaw Carvings.
Eagle Ridge Chainsaw Carvings. Now, it might be a little hard to hear, but this is the idea. he's got some detailed work here, as you can see. What kind of wood do you use for that?
This is a piece of sycamore that I got. It's really big because the sycamore grows really big, and so.
I think I saw him out in
Sycamores out on my
Nixa,
rural property too.
outside
I know how
Nixa
big they
Hardware,
can get.
doing this stuff.
Yeah, so that's one piece.
Yes, all in one hunk. Yeah.
Even the hammer.
The hammer actually was cut from this wood originally, but I did have to cut it off and shape it and then reattach it.
How long would it take for you to complete something like that?
I've got about 40 hours in this.
So that's a work week. You got 40 hours with a chainsaw, and what else? What do you use?
Chainsaws, sanders, you know, some small like Dremel style type tools that we use as well.
See that you're using a steel chainsaw. Good choice.
Yes, I'm actually sponsored by Steel. So
What kind of sharpening tools? Do you have to have anything special, or you just go to work at it like everybody else?
pretty much like everybody else. I do hand file my chainsaws most of the time. If I hit a screw or a rock or something in a wood, I use a Dremel file then to shape it back.
How often do you have to re-sharpen that saw blade or that chain?
Depending on the wood I'm using. If I'm using softwood, sometimes I can go 2 days on a sharpen, but if I get into hardwoods, it's about every day I'm sharpening.
Well, now sycamore is not necessarily a hardwood.
No, it's a nice soft wood. I call it watermelon wood because it's full of water. So when you cut one down, it weighs more than a hardwood weighs.
Because of the water retention.
Because of the water retention, yes.
Do you have to dry it out to get your carving done, or does it matter?
I usually carve it. I let it set for 6-8 months if I can, and if not, you know, I'll cut it and then I'll just let it sit and let it drain out. I usually stand them up on pallets so that it has airflow so that the water can drain out.
Okay, so he's got 6-8 months letting it dry. How long do you sit waiting for your money?
If you do something like this,
6-8 months, or is it less?
something like this, it could be 6-8 years for you sell, but you
So
find the
see,
right person. You know?
Patience is really a virtue.
Yeah. Yes.
Now, what made you inspired to do something like this? Because I've seen the painting that's
Right.
similar.
Right.
We all know about that, but this is a little bit unique. So did that just inspire you from that painting, or?
Yes, I mean, me, myself, I'm a Christian, but I used to play in a band, and the guy had a tattoo of this on his arm.
Oh, yeah.
And that was years before I started sculpting. But whenever I started sculpting, the first thing I wanted to do was this. But I knew I didn't have the talent or the experience to do that yet. So it took me about 10, 11 years to get the nerve to actually carve something like this.
Now, Mom, that just means the tattoo is okay? Because that inspired a lot of good things.
Oh, yeah, that one tattoo. If it hadn't been for that tattoo, I'd have probably never knew.
So
that
he's
this
quite
was-
talented. You've seen
Now,
him
Jason,
around.
do you have any tats?
I don't have
Me neither. I think you like to carve on things, but not be carved on.
Right. I don't like needles.
The thing about your work is that you've got to be what? What's the biggest skill you got to have in your line of work?
In my line of work, you gotta have some strong arms. You hold them big saws in your hands all day, and you get wore out in a hurry. When I first started, I'd go about 20 minutes, and my arms were sore, like they were tired. But and there's a little bit of, I'd say not really talent, but more imagination. What can you do? It's like taking a piece of putty or Play-Doh and sculpting something, with your hands. So you do the same thing with wood, and it's whatever your imagination brings. It's not so much a talent thing. Now, there are guys in this business that are super talented. They have master's degrees in sculpting.
Wow.
And they go...
I didn't even know there was such a thing.
Yeah, they go crazy. Some of them guys are college
That
trained.
would be a very noisy class.
Yeah, I'm sure it was probably chisel, clay stuff.
Everybody.
Yeah.
So what bar size do you have to use?
I have all the way from an 8-inch bar to a 36-inch bar and everything in between. So I've got about 15 saws that I use. And they all have a different bar on them, and they all have their own purpose. So.
I live out in the woods. My neighbor has his own business. He's a sawmill business, and steel is the way to go.
Yeah. I don't know if they make the sawmills, but we have a sawmill too. But steel is the way to go in my book, and it always has been. Even when I wasn't using steel my first year or so, I always wanted the steel. It's just what I had was what I had. I didn't have a lot of money, so but I got my sponsorship with them, and they helped me out. And I don't say they're the best because I'm sponsored. I say they're the best because they are the best.
I remember my son he got himself a steel, and he's going to the Navy, so he's going over to Italy. He sold that thing in like 2 blinks. I put it on Marketplace, and the guy didn't even fire it up. He just dropped the cash down and bought that saw.
Yep. You get a nice saw that's for sale, and it's not retail price because, you sell a used saw. You're not going to charge what the store does, but still a good saw, it'll go in a hurry.
We definitely thought we could have upped the price and still been okay because my inbox got slammed pretty hard with that steel.
Yep. There's a few of them that are discontinued that the old guys love.
Oh, yeah?
And they'll pay $2,000 for a saw that's 20 years old.
So what's something that's really vintage that's worth a lot?
Well, there was a saw, it was the Steel 200 top handle that the tree climbers used.
Oh.
And when they switched to the new 201 series, they wanted the old 200, but they don't make it anymore. So if you get on eBay, you find them for like $2,000, and the saw retails for like $700.
So if you guys have a Steel 200,
yeah,
we're looking for it, okay? You might want to think about retirement, okay?
Here, so I've got the point of his nose here, and then I cut it back here and down here. So we got a triangle kind of shape going this way and one going this way.
Okay.
So you've got the contour, and then you just start digging out certain areas and finding the jawbone, the cheekbones, and
you have to be pretty artistic to know how to do that. Sculptor.
And I've never been artistic other than I played drums. That's my only music artist until when I was like 28 years old when I picked this up. So like the words, the different styles of art, the different styles, I don't actually know. My art teacher in high school didn't like me in the art class because I wasn't paying attention to the history and the books, and I just wanted to do art. And
that is awesome.
All right.
Well, that's a very skilled young man, Jason Morton, over there in Stratford, doing Eagle Ridge chainsaw carvings. Check him out online or at Gmail or at his number there. It's always good to see. And Johnny Rooster Morning Mouth highlights local businesses. We're going to do one more video and get out of here. Just do that short one, that 1 minute one.
Is it the same one?
No, it's a number 2 or I think it's 1 minute and 49 seconds.
Okay, 1 minute and 49 seconds. Yeah. All right, let
Wherever
me
that
pull
thing's
it up.
buried.
It's right there. All right, so that's the starting music.
There you go.
All right, we ready?
Yep.
Let's move it on over to the next one, and here you go.
But
The trailer gets stuck, so you can back up and spread it. Just have to do a little bit of handwork with it when it's done, but not much. And then we also have where we can...
Just a view of the many things to do in Springfield, Missouri, which is the garden show. Beautiful weather is here. Many, many, many visitors and vendors. It was a great event.
I think my pastor was actually out there.
Had a lot of fun. We're representing Axe Media Group out there and interviewed a lot of wonderful vendors. I was getting tired, and my lovely wife, Mrs. Rooster, was continuing to urge me on, saying, you need to meet people, get out there and tell them who you are. Folks, you can put in your comments if you're on YouTube or Facebook. What do you do this spring? What are your plans? Do you do a garden? My dad wants to do a garden. Thanks for your comments, everybody. This is great. We're going to catch up to some more vendors later. We've got some other stuff for other programs. This just gives you a little overview.
All right. Next up, we're going to go ahead. That's the end of that one.
There we go.
And you're live.
Okay, folks, we're about out of time for today, but we're really glad you got to watch. And again, Johnny Rooster, your host, is going to square off with Terri Williams, the lady you watched earlier. She is a single mom, age 36. She is trying to get her pro card as a bodybuilder. She'll be going to regionals in Omaha coming up at the end of this later in the summer, and then if she wins that, she'll go on to the national finalists. So wishing Terri well, and if you can come by on March 20th, that's when we're doing this arm wrestling. We're going to make it a big deal, like, are you ready to rumble? No, so we're raising some support for that. Currently, we have a Green 317 fund drive going with Ollie, my friend, the orangutan. We're doing that to raise money for the green screen, for the extra backgrounds we want to put in the studio, for camera equipment, other things that we want to bring you better programming, more interviews. And if you have a business, just like Jason, the chainsaw artist, or if you have a unique story, just like Terri, the bodybuilder, or if you're an artist, an up-and-coming musician or actor, a talent, we want to talk to you on the Johnny Rooster Show. Just go to JohnnyRoosterLive.com. And I guess we need to pop that up on the screen from time to time. That would be a good idea. I don't know if we can do it today.
We are over our time.
But we're going to do that. JohnnyRoosterLive.com. Guest sign up. You guys have a blessed day. We will see you on Wednesday.
Bye.